We are in the middle of an upshift. We have talked about an upshift that will be coming in the future. Some people said that this is already, can see some part of it. Still, other people, many people are skeptical. My conviction is, and I can say a few words about that, is that we are in the middle of an upshift. It's a planetary upshift. It's an upshift of humanity into the Gaia system. The Gaia system is a quantum system. That means that everything is connected to everything else. All is based on information and mutual information, and all is based on the impact of one system, partial system on the other. The Gaia system is a totality, and it is a quantum system because it is strictly interconnected with all its elements. Now, the Gaia system is the totality of all the critical subsystems which are governing and determining our life. We are full of these systems: wars, disunity, conflict, as well as cooperation, oneness, love, heat, all are elements of the system. And the system is evolving. It's evolving because it cannot devolve. It can only move forward. If it stops evolving, it'll disappear, it'll break down. So we are faced with the alternative of making evolution conscious and purposive, moving in an evolutionary trajectory, or breaking down and the Gaia system breaking up, endangering the survival of all higher forms of life, including humanity.
So if the system is evolving, is it self-evolving, or would you say that we have an impact, obviously, on that system? In fact, we have a pretty profound impact, it seems, on the system. But if we're on this path of self-destruction, well, we're not. We're on a key pivotal point, as you mentioned that.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So is it self-evolving, or the system, or do we have to do anything, or where are we in this place?
The first evolution that we can think of in this phase of the universe, which is not an eternal universe, it's a temporary universe, about 13.7 billion years old since the Big Bang. The first step on this evolution, of this system's evolution, was to create hydrogen nuclei, which then joined together and created higher types of nuclei, and the helium and the other forms of the atoms of the elements. And they're creating molecules and creating cells and the system that we know today. The evolution of this system was not by chance. It's not just something that could happen. It's something that must have happened, otherwise we wouldn't be here. That we are here, that there is life on Earth, is proof, absolute proof, that this system of the universe, the Gaia system, is a highly directional, highly oriented, highly focused system, moving from chaos, which was the state of the universe just after the Big Bang, moving toward cosmos, which is the Greek way of saying order, coherence. Einstein said that the most remarkable thing about this universe is so coherent that one can understand some elements of it. This is not a random universe, and it didn't evolve by chance. This is a purposive universe moving toward higher levels of order. And this is what we are doing today. This is what I like to say, Ken, and this is what some people might find surprising. I say that we are evolving into higher levels of coherence on this planet. Humanity does that. That doesn't seem to be the case when you look at the evening news, when you talk to people. There seems to be the disorder, disharmony, and conflict and wars are dominant. But underneath this multiple critical, these unities, there is a paradigm process, an overlaid process of moving from one system to another, creating higher level systems and creating coherence among them. This is the case. If you look at the situation of Earth, of the system of life on Earth, with an open eye, on the long term. In the short term, full of critical points, full of breakdowns, full of crisis. In the medium to long term, do you see that underlying the crisis, underlying the critical points, there is a constant progression to higher and higher levels of coordination and order. We are no longer dealing purely with local phenomena. We are no longer dealing all with national things. We are no longer dealing even with only regional things. We are dealing with processes on a global level. And these processes determine the way we live and the way we go forward. We are becoming a planetary species. But in terms of what I'm talking about here, it's planetary means actually Gaia level, this level of life on Earth. We are now interacting with that on that system with all force leading us from one level to another, all force on the planet. The planet is finite. The universe, as we know it today from the quantum studies of the universe, is likewise a finite process moving from one level to another. We are a part of this process. So this great process of integration builds coherence. It builds higher coordination among its elements. And that shifts from the local level to the national, to the regional, to the planetary, and then to the Gaia level. We are now dealing, please note, if you look at evening news, if you look at any idea of concept of what is happening today, underneath it, it's not remarked often what is the case. Underneath it is the fact that these are interactions now on a truly global level, interactions that encompass on all things, all living things, and all even physical elements on this planet. The planet is an interdependent, interacting quantum system that responds to everything that happens. And we are now part of this process, which is leading to and reaching now a global level, a planetary level, actually, as I would say, the Gaia level.
Well, Dr. Ervin, I've got to take a quick break here. We come back. I'd like to ask you a little bit about how the ancient wisdom traditions align with modern science that we're talking about, and align with the Gaia system that you're.
Take a break, but keep in mind that here we are at a critical point, and this critical point is a planetary point, and this is something that is happening. It's not fiction. It is the case. We are in evolution towards the Gaia level. And that is, if you keep in mind, that is the ray of light, the ray of hope on this earth.